qualify for anything further is RCB. Is that right?
Yeah, they had a fun, if not actually
successful.
Not actually complete game yesterday against the Rajasthan Royals. Very rain affected. In 5 overs, they scored 62, but managed to lose 7 wickets. Shreyas Gopal, for the second time in the season, getting AB de Villiers and Virat Kohli out in part of a hat trick. But that game was rained off, so Rajasthan still have just about a chance. But RCB are officially out of things. These two are looking to Chennai looking to regain top spot, which they've held for most of the year. Delhi Capitals on an absolute roll, having won 7 of their last 8. Chennai got absolutely thumped in actually what was the last game we did here on Gorilla Kicker. We've just by chance ended up doing 3 Chennai home games in a row.
Yes, it does seem odd that we go with the champs and we go with the glamour team that's winning everything. It's almost like you supporting Liverpool, isn't it, Bear?
I'm going to do Barcelona tonight, man.
Do Barcelona, my arse. Anyway, we will tweet you up and jingle you up very shortly. I'll give you the teams as well. I was quite amused by the fact we're talking about that game yesterday that Harry Gurney tweeted this morning. 5 overs aside, that's what all club cricket should be. I did like that. I did chortle. I don't know if anyone else did. But it shows he's got a sense of humour, the lad. Anyway, let us jingle up the openings. Faf du Plessis and Shane Watson. What an opening pair that is.
Well, yeah.
What a barrel-chested opening pair.
Indeed so. And possibly
this man.
Shane Watson. Quite a few.
Quite a few last time.
Did 90 odd, wasn't it?
When he gets out, LBW. Shane Watson.
Yeah, that was the game before last that Shane Watson got a very powerful almost 100.
Indeed.
Because last week Chennai got absolutely thumped at Chepauk by the Mumbai Indians. But against the Sunrisers, Watson was in brutal form.
Well, he's not going to be facing the first ball. The first ball is going to be faced by Faf, no less. We've got time for a bit of Faf.
Life goes on. La la la, life goes on.
We'll see who's opening the bowling for the Delhi Capitals as we are about to begin the countdown. I'm just waiting for the numbers to come up and I can count you down so you'll know exactly how many seconds you've got before the game starts. And you've got anything to do, like make some toast, coffee, have a crap, anything like that. Do it quickly because we're nearly ready. It's the old guard of MS Dhoni against the young man of Shreyas Iyer as the captains. It's Trent Boult playing only his second game of the tournament, and this one swings in from over the wicket to the right-handed Faf, who plays inside the line through the keeper.
Rather good jingle too.
How does he speak, or play the horn, or clean his teeth, or even yawn? How does he shout? How does he call? Trent Boult's mouth is really small.
He's a bit more expensive than you generally think for such a respected bowler. Nearly 9 and over he goes for in this tournament. We've got a ring of 4 on the offside. We've got a man at slip, mid-wicket, mid-on, deep backward square. In he comes again. This is right in the slot for du Plessis. He plays it nicely, drives it, but straight into the covers. To extra, and there is no run. Now let's get through the teams. Faf du Plessis and Shane Watson opening for CSK. We have Suresh Raina, Ambati Rayudu, Kedar Jadhav, MS Dhoni, Dwayne Bravo, Ravi Jadeja, Deepak Chahar, Harbhajan Singh and Imran Tahir. It's a phenomenally experienced team. It really is.
Yeah, Faf, MS Dhoni and Ravindra Jadeja are back, having missed the loss to Mumbai. Dhruv Shori, Murali Vijay and rather unluckily Mitchell Santner miss out.
Defended square this time. Another foolish delivery from Boult. Du Plessis onto the front foot. I should bring you the Delhi team. It's Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant, Colin Ingram, Shafane Rutherford, Axar Patel, Sandeep Lamichhane, I love him, Amit Mishra, and a guy who's new to me, Jay Suchith, but I'm told by Nakul that he played a few games back in 2015 for the Mumbai Indians. And then of course Trent Boult, and here comes Trent Boult over the wicket into Du Plessis, who sort of flaps at this. It's a rather flat-footed shot, and he's beaten by that one on the outside. He's playing for a little bit more swing than there is. And we still await the first run. Anyone joined us on tweets or quick tracker?
A few people making note of the fact that actually on the Delhi Capitals and the CSK team changes, yes, because Delhi Capitals are without the services of Ishant Sharma, who has a slight ankle knock, and KJ Rabada, the leading wicket taker in the tournament,
25.
With 25 wickets, has a slight ankle injury, but they're just being rested. We understand.
This one comes into the hip of Faf. Cramps him for run, but he does manage to steer it behind square on the onside, and he'll take his first run. One without loss. Rabada is 25 wickets already. What is the record? I don't know offhand. What is the
I
record?
don't know actually what the record is. I have to look that up.
Yeah, I would, definitely.
But I think Rabada must be in record endangering territory. But yeah,
Yes.
a couple of comments on the team changes. Random person says 4 spinners. Yes, 4 spinners for the Delhi Capital with Akshar, Suchit, Mishra, and hang on a second. That's a late change. Chris Morris has come in for someone.
Oh, is it Axar Patel?
Oh,
No.
Lamachane.
Oh no! Oh, Sandeep. Oh, I'm.
So actually, just the
disappointed.
3 spinners. I wonder when that change happened, because Lamachane was in the team as far as we knew it.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
posted.
Lamachane announced in the press box, but Chris Morris is playing.
Okay. Here is Bolt in to Watson, who comes forward. Ball coming into him, but he meets it nicely, plays it off the front, middle of the bat down to backward point, and that is the first over finished. 1 without loss. The Bear is waving his jazz hand. He wants to say something.
Well, the people from Crick Tracker India are in.
Hello.
Sharif Islam says hello.
Hello.
As does Elzina Maria Landau. Prashant
Hello.
says hi, guys. Commentators, yes, that's us.
Hi.
Elzina Maria Landau says hello, Sharif here. Hello from the Netherlands.
Hello, Netherlands. Can we have your points for the British entry?
Yeah, and your commentators are from left to right as you're looking. So over there in the jingle chair is the Hop Bear. In the middle, doing the talking thing, is Nigel Henderson, and me in the pink shirt is Knuckle M. Pandey. Yeah, Jane with a Y. Apparently 3.25 runs and over with a couple of wickets isn't good enough given the overseas limit and the availability of the Dick, which is her appellation for Ravindra Jadeja. Yes, Mitchell Santner bowled one of the spells of the tournament in the last game against Mumbai Indians, but has been left out with the return of Faf du Plessis and a little bit of juggling. There was a question asked by somebody on Twitter about the best commentators, and Abhishek Chopra and Ravi Narad are picking us up.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Now, Jay Suchith is going to bowl the first over. He's a left arm round the wicket bowler. He's bowling to du Plessis, who pushes firmly, again without any real foot movement. He got a wideish slip there, so Delhi going with one of their spinners to start the power play. Jagadisha being his full name, but known as Jay. 10 wickets in this tournament in all, not this particular one. He's in again, bowls, and this time it's flicked away through the vacant mid-wicket, which will enrage the Bear.
Does indeed.
You're keeping very calm, though.
Well, it's early days.
There's 2 men out, and they put one of them back on the fence. Yeah, Suchit from Mysore in Karnataka, which is the state that Bangalore is in, but it's a different city in Bangalore. 10 wickets in the 2015 edition of the IPL when he was playing for the Mumbai Indians in 13 games. Quite a high economy rate, though, in that edition. Has a decent record with the bat as well in this tournament. Has a strikes at 150 per 100 balls. Had one notable game with the bat for the Mumbai Indians. There's a nice tall action, nice high action, good through the crease, I think.
He is quite reminiscent of Axar Patel. They also have. This is outside leg stump, an attempted sweep by Watson, and he normally plays that shot very well indeed, but he got in a bit of a tangle there.
I think he's missed out there. That was
Well, that was more the paddle rather than the booming slog sweep that Shane Watson plays so well.
I like the one he comes down from really high and
Chops
hits
it very
through
fine.
square. Yeah. Here is I was going to say Axo. He goes back, making room for himself, and drives straight to cover point. There is no run, so this is a good start from Suchit.
These two get off real slow, don't they?
They do, but they know what to do later, don't they?
Them, yeah, they can. Really
Yeah,
catch
it got them
on,
into
but-
trouble the other week where
Yeah.
they just completely stopped without Dhoni's ability to accelerate late, and without Raina didn't really get going, who is one of their other sort of accelerants. A little bit of talk about Raina's form, or while he's been scoring at a decent rate, he hasn't really got the weight of runs this year.
No, I think he's averaging about 22. I mean, averages don't tell you everything, of course, in the IPL. This is defended just a few yards up the pitch. The wicketkeeper comes from behind the stumps to do the fielding. That's Rishabh Pant. And there is no run. 1 ball remaining, just the single from this over so far. So will Shane Watson make this delivery count? In he comes, he goes back, and he's making room for himself outside the leg stump, and then trying to work it into the onside, but again he fails to connect. It runs off his pad, and that is a very good return to IPL cricket from Jay Suchith.
Yeah, very decent indeed. Kunal Talani is also bigging us up, says all the Guerrilla Cricket guys. Arthur Shah says, afternoon Guerrilla Cricket. having impulse purchased some rhododendron bushes. All my tweets this afternoon will be rhododendron themed. Is rhododendron Ashwin playing? No, he is not. Kunal Talani is with us, says, hello, Gorilla Cricket guys. Ravi Nair says, 3 of the best are right now on air, right now on Gorilla Cricket, Hendo the Bear and Knuckle and Pandey. Thank you very much, Ravi, for your fawning support. All taken. Armchair Cricket Podcast says, glad to hear Gorilla Cricket are back, commentating on CSK versus DC, and says quite rightly that we are geo-block free.
Absolutely.
Message says, what a treat. Just as I get home, I discover the dulcet tones of Hendo the Bear and Knuckle on Gorilla Cricket. To soothe my furrowed brow, I guess you couldn't resist the prospect of a Watto review.
Bolt starts the 3rd over. It's outside the off stump. A mistimed drive on the up from Duplessis. The ball really goes absolutely nowhere. Just jams it into the pitch, really. And there is no run. Well, now, I have to say that you can fawn over us all you want. I love to be fawned over, so please fawn more.
Yeah, it's all very nice to hear.
Duplessis, that wide backlift that he has, extraordinary, really. Now advances down the pitch. It's put in a little bit shorter by Bolt. Hits high up on the bat as he defends. Has nowhere to go, really. And again, there is no run. 2 for no wicket off at 2.2. I think we
Gotta
saw
go quicker than this,
Didn't
boys.
we see CSK when they played that game last week when Watson got his 90 odd? I think they'd only got about 2 from 3 overs, hadn't they?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was
they ended up
very
with
slow.
42 off the power play because they're over a 20.
Do you know how Watson can accelerate supremely, can't he? I mean, he just starts, once he starts biffing it over
he
the
got
boundary.
dropped at one point and was going at barely a run a ball, but then would just murder us towards the end of the
Oh,
innings.
now this could be trouble here. He's going to hurry, and the throw is just wide of the wicket.
God, he looks after it,
But Faf set off. Watson was very late to respond as the ball ran towards mid-wicket, and really, a direct hit would have probably done the trick.
Yeah, Prithvi Shaw just missing from mid-wicket.
Yep. Well,
Oh,
yeah, we've been
yeah,
out by,
wow.
2 yards, 2.5 yards, something like that. But Watson lives to fight another day, and the score moves on to 3.
Abhishek Chopra says, as well as Rhododendron Ashwin not playing, Kagiso Rhododendron is also not playing.
Oh dear. The slip's gone wider. In comes Trent Bolt. Bowls a full toss outside off stump, and it's steered by Watson. Gets it quite low on the bat, but as we know, there are quite big middles on the lower portions of the bat these days. But he unfortunately picks out the man at extra, and there is no
Nice bit
run.
of fielding plunging to his left by Suchit. On the question of Suchit, Armchair Cricket Podcast says, Suchit and Akshar are too much alike, aren't they? Would it have made sense to have Sandeep Lamachane in one of these two, in place of one of these two? Could Akshar's batting have swung selection in his favour? Of course, that would have run into trouble with the overseas players, because they wouldn't have been able to play Chris Morris.
Okay, here's Bolt again in. Again, it's very wide, but actually Yorker length. It makes it awkward for Watson. He tries to jab the bat down on it and doesn't make contact. Through it goes to the keeper. Again, just a single off this over. You still have 1 ball to go, but only 3 without loss to score at the moment.
Yeah, Ravi Nair says, can the guerrilla powers that be arrange for both teams to lose? Perhaps our friendly Facebook IPL fixer, who is apparently writing today in Bengali, perhaps he could do something along those lines. Thanks in advance. We'll see what we can do. One tip, one hand at the edges and sledges podcast says Akshar and Suchit are too similar for our liking.
Ooh, that's a beauty from Trent Bolt. He brings it in and then takes it away. A bit like supreme power, really, isn't it? But that is a beauty. And Watson knows he's been beaten. All ends up there and just looks in and sort of grimaces at Bolt, who smiles. End of the over, just the 1 from it. 3 without loss from 3.
Finishing off with that comment. If they needed to go with Chris Morris, which I guess they had to do to not just the overseas balance, but an extra seamer as well, because the only other seamer that they got is Trent Bolt in this lineup. So you going in with 4 spinners, even at Chennai, would have been putting all your eggs in one basket there. But one tip, one hand would have played Rahul Tewati, the leg spinner, as the 3rd spinner. But still would have picked Sandeep Lamachane over either. Yeah, I think I'm disappointed from a selfish point of view that Lamachane is not playing. I love watching him bowl, and also it's great to see Nepal getting some exposure around the world. But he one tip, one hand does say decent start from Suchit, though. Maybe the element of surprise is working in his favour. Jeff Perkins is with us. Says sorry, on a work computer, can't disable my fawn blocker. And Message Az says, is Knuckle working to develop a Moeen-esque beard? At the current rate, he'll have birds nesting in time for the World Cup final.
Probably has. Actually, this is worked into the onside for a single by Duplessis as Suchit starts his 2nd over. Score moves in a pedestrian way to 4 for no wicket. And well, does it really matter who wins this one? That's in a way, as you say, we only got 7 games left in this in the the league part of the tournament, as it were.
Yeah, both teams have one game left after this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mumbai are only 2 points behind, so the second and third place, which could be crucial, could come into things.
Oh.
Now back goes Watson and pulls this and pulls it down the throat. Would you believe, of deep mid wicket? What a start for Suchith. He's congratulated, got an enormous grin on his face, and Shane Watson wanders off wondering, can I review that, and shaking his head. Now I suspect he was trying to get it squarer than that, but he got it a little bit on the end of the bat and a bit longer, and unfortunately he has picked out Axar. So it was an Axar Suchith combination that gets rid of Watson. He's gone for 0 from 9.
Yeah, 9-ball duck. We were talking about his heroics the other day and his ability to be destructive, but fantastic start for the Delhi Capitals at the home of the champions. Abhishek Chopra says a bird in hand is better than 2 in Knuckles' beard. And Linux Lear as well says it should be Carissa Robos, which is a type of tea.
Oh, right, okay. Well, you know, every week
it is a South African type of tea, so that does at least make some sense.
Talking of some South Africans, is Mpo going to be here for the World Cup, or has he gone back to South Africa? Does anyone know?
I think he's gone back.
Has he gone back?
Yeah.
Has he gone back? Okay. Right, out to the wicket comes Suresh Raina. Now he's doing some sort of gymnastics out there, or yoga poses. And he's staying up the end with Faf du Plessis, having a little word with him. Du Plessis, of course, will face because they crossed. And here is the jingle.
Several things have happened in the life of Suresh Raina. After a Twitter storm, he had to issue a disclaimer that if he took the blame, he probably had him on retainer. Hey, Suresh Raina.
Oh, just noticed that Faf has got a very nice line in pink gloves on. In comes Suchith, bowls. He goes back, clips away through that vacant mid-wicket, and in comes Axar to pick up. They jog another single, 5 for 1 halfway through the 4th over.
Faf also has a pink grip on his bat handle.
Beautiful, it's beautiful. Goes so well with that yellow.
Yeah. Raina favouring the orange grip on the bat handle.
I always liked an orange grip, I must admit, and I always liked having more than one grip as I got older for some reason. I think a lot of batsmen do, don't they? Some people have 5 grips on their bats. On their handles. I think Clive Lloyd was one of those.
Watson, looking at that again, was a little bit early on the shot, so it came slightly off the toe end of the bat, and it was a very comfortable catch for Akshar. Barely had to move. Yeah, I think he was trying to go squarer than that ended up.
Yeah, it just held up in the pitch maybe a little bit, caught it on the end. Or he must have been a bit eager to get at the ball. He's over the wicket to Raina, the left-hander, and he just pushes into the onside. Suchi, so keen is he to prevent runs and put in a good performance. He chases after that himself all the way to the edge of the circle. They come through for 1 and the score moves on to 6. Have we had anything but singles so far? I don't think we have. 6 for 1 is the score. If you're just joining us here on Gorilla Cricket, Chennai Super Kings put into bat by the Delhi Capitals, both of them on 16 points after 12 games at the top of the table. Delhi top on run rate. In he comes, bowls, flicks away again through that mid-wicket region, and once more Axar Patel called into action. Another single is scored. 7 for 1. It's the boring middle overs in the power play. What on earth is going on?
Arthur says Watson's not achieved much except rhododendroning up 9 balls there. Armchair Cricket Podcast says attaches a quote from MS Dhoni that we believe Test cricket is the real cricket. Armchair Cricket Podcast wonders why he retired from it. Well, I think that ship has somewhat sailed now.
Over the wicket, a little dab this time by Suresh Raina, but straight to short third man. That is the end of the over. 4 runs on a wicket from it. Suchith is bowling very well indeed on his return. 7 for 1.
And Ravi Nair says Knuckles' bird's nest beard is his contribution to the local rewilding of the UK. Clearly he's a George Monbiot fan and will soon be introducing badgers, beavers, wolves and lynxes into his beard to go with the herds of deer. Yes, I contain multitudes, as does my beard. Jamie the Wise says, sorry, late to the party, even missed lovely Trenty's jingle.
Oh no, well we can always
sure you'll get another blast.
We'll get another chance.
Rene Kita as well says Kaiso is hardly as soporific as Roybush T. Great to hear you again. Thank you, Rene, for your continued patronage these many years.
Yes, I want you to patronise me, as well as patronage me. Anyway, there's a little bit of a break at the moment because we always seem to have these enormous breaks in the IPL, even though it's not an official strategic break.
Stephen Fleming's been complaining about that almost all season.
Well, quite right then. I'm with him on that. There's no need for all this time between overs. I mean, it wouldn't happen next year in the 100, would it? Oh, maybe it will. Chris Morris is into the attack. Trent has gone for a little rest. For bowling 2 overs. He's bowling to Faf, and Faf, oh, well, what happens there? He was trying to turn that on the onside. He acted as if he'd already got it down to long leg, but in fact he got tangled between the back of his bat and his pad, and then it just dropped out into the pitch, and there was no run. Chris Morris doing pretty well again. I mean, he's been very successful in the IPL, Chris Morris. 68 wickets, economy rate 7.9. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, particularly given he bowls at the death. He bowls a very good Yorker at the death. We have a jingle for him, I think.
We do indeed.
It's Chris Morris, because it's Chris Morris, because it's Chris Morris.
Full toss, and unfortunately for Chris Morris, it's found the thick inside edge of Faf's bat and has gone fine of the man up inside the circle at fine leg. It's 4 runs. First 4 of the day.
This over an IPL.
Yeah, 28 balls, and it ends up as a... Well, actually, that was nicely played by Faf.
It was fair enough. I mean, it wasn't a great ball. He was looking for his in-swinging Yorker. He just got the line wrong. He got the line ever so slightly wrong as well, and so it was it was a freebie, really, in a way. Just had to turn the bat and time it, and away it went. So 11 for 1. In he comes again to Faf, and Faf again gets in a muddle with that one, trying to work it into the onside. He's looking terribly scratchy. I have to say that 1-4 accepted. He's looked very scratchy so far. Du Plessis moved on to 10 from 16. 10 of the 11 scored. 11 for 1 halfway through the 5th over.
Yeah, Watson just kept pushing the ball straight to field. There's a couple of nice drives from both that have been fielded at extra cover. Armchair Cricket Podcast says Watson bashing, tick. More Faf love as we are now commentating on his batting accessories, tick. Guerrilla Cricket on full form this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course. We're rarely out of form. Well, actually, come to think of it, mostly when we're tired, which is a lot of the time because we do so much. This is way down the leg side from Morris. He's not getting his line as he wants it at all, and that is signalled as one of these. Wide. Now, looking at that points table is indeed... well, these two have actually qualified. How they'll qualify and where they will qualify has yet to be determined. We have Mumbai Indians on 14, Sunrisers on 12, and then just beneath that, it's amazing to see Rajasthan Royals up there with 11 points. It's also amazing because they seem to have done pretty well since Joss Butler left, and he was the only man getting runs. Very strange. This isn't timed by Du Plessis, but he will get runs out into the deep on the onside. Just a single again as he moves on to 11.
Yeah,
13 for 1.
Shreyas Gopal has been taking a lot of wickets for the Rajasthan Royals, rapidly climbing up that wicket-taking table. Yes, so first and second go into the first qualifier, third and fourth go into the eliminator. Then the winner of the first qualifier goes straight through to the final. The loser plays qualifier 2 against the winner of 3 and 4. So if you finish first or second, you get 2 chances at qualifying for the final.
Now those two, that's eliminator and qualifier 2. Vizag, what is Vizag?
Vizag is in Andhra. England played a test match there. England played a test match there when they were last in India. It's on the east coast.
All right. But it doesn't play host to any particular team in this competition, does it? In comes Morris, bowls to the left-handed. Rayner pushes to mid-wicket, and there is no run.
Would you like to hear another very forced rhododendron pun?
I think they're wearing a bit thin, but go on then.
Contrary to pre-match rumours, MS Rhododendron is...
Who is this doing this? Is this Arthur Shear?
That was Abhishek Chopra.
Oh, right, so everyone's joining in on the rhododendron theme. Okay, fair enough.
Why rhododendron?
Because Arthur Shear impulse bought some rhododendron bushes.
As you do. You're just passing a rhododendron
I have one in my
bush.
back garden, funny enough.
Have you?
I
Have you
pruned
painted
it the other day. Yeah.
In comes Morris to complete the over, and it's very wide of off stump. Rayner does well to reach it, and it runs away off the outside edge down to third man. Chris Morris can't believe it. I don't know whether he's annoyed with himself or annoyed with the shot. Anyway, 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So there we go. Any more Quick Tracker people
No.
joining us? Join us on Quick Tracker India.
Very quiet.
You do have to refresh the comments on the thing.
I know.
He does know. He's
Just-
technically
I
efficient,
use it.
unlike me.
It can catch people. Yeah, you can if you're watching on facebook.com/Crick Tracker India. Firstly, please share the link and share the video with your friends and your networks, and then of course leave us some comments there, and you can also tweet us at Guerrilla Cricket, as Armchair Cricket Podcast has just done. First boundary in the 5th over of an IPL game. Are we watching an ODI from the early 90s? Credit to Bolt, Morris and Suchit, the does a score of 17 for 1 after 5 overs. Might be a record low total in the IPL. I don't think it is, but it's pretty poor.
Oh, yeah, now what is the lowest score from a power play, I wonder? Axer comes on. He looks exactly like Suchi. He bowls a little bit more round-armed. This is driven off the back foot straight to extra, and there is no run. Du Plessis has moved to 11 from 18. Reiner has 5 from 4. And it's 17 for 1. The final over of the batting power play. He's in again to Du Plessis. Goes that one air. Du Plessis is just not timing the ball at all. Bottom hand came through there when he didn't want it to, and he hammered it into the ground and then back into the hands of Axar Patel. He's the bowler again. He's given himself a lot of room here. Oh, horrible shot. He was aiming that through extra cover, and he's chipped it away in the air through mid-wicket rather slowly. And the man comes in off the fence to field.
He managed to be early on the quicker ball.
Horrible stuff at the moment from Faf.
Stephen Fleming, actually, even though Chennai have an amazing record at Chepauk this year, has been complaining about how slow the pitch has been.
Well, it may
even
be
though
slow.
Even though they've only lost 1 game there this year.
It's slow, but no opening batsman likes that, but he's really not found his timing at the moment. Onto the back foot goes Reiner, who's looking much more proficient, and he gets that through off the back foot. That's beautifully played. The dive goes in, but it's in vain for more runs to the left-hander. 22 for 1. Reiner moves to 9, and that was a beautifully crafted shot, finding what wasn't a particularly big gap between backward point and cover, and well-deserved boundary.
Yeah, even Trent Bolt with his astonishing athleticism couldn't get near it.
Yeah, very nicely played indeed. He's round the wicket now to the left-hander. He sweeps, and he sweeps in the air, but he's got it to the right of the man at short, fine leg, and in fact, it's gone. While it's gone for 4, Suresh Raina has managed to fall over. A couple of boundaries in a row, making this look a little bit more respectable from CSK's point of view. He's rolling all over the crease. Fun to see. Now just waits for this and flicks it with the wristiness to mid-wicket and takes the single. That is the end of the over. 10 off that over. There was 10 off the previous over. So just signs that CSK are beginning to find some momentum.
All things are relative. Linux Leah says that Gopal hat-trick yesterday was great. RCBs tried their hardest to be bowled out inside 5 overs and even failed at that. Renikita says, I rode on, then donned my professional cap. Honey derived from rhododendron flowers is poisonous.
Oh, well, there you go.
And Nestle Boy is back from Spain and tuned in with a nice brandy on the go.
Did you get a nice tan?
You know what he's like. He just sits in his room, doesn't he? Miserably. He's a miserable bastard.
Arthur says, of course, if you're not blowing all your disposable income on rhododendrons, give it all to Gorilla Cricket, who flower nearly as brightly and are just as attractive to beads.
I have very little disposable income at the moment.
Yeah, likewise.
Very little income in full, to be honest.
Please, I think we've all disposed of most of our income, sadly. But if you have some income you'd like to dispose of, we are here for all such needs. That makes us sound like a money laundering service, but there you go.
I wouldn't knock it till you've tried
Listen,
it.
exactly. I'll launder some money for you at 30%.
Yeah, where are you going to launder it through?
I don't know. I'll figure it out when you send me it. Maybe let's do a runner.
That's true. When we could go,
Launder it through Gorilla Cricket. So we've got a lot of kit or advertising space or
where
something.
could we go with all that money? Where should we go? Mexico? Should we do it from Mexico?
Yeah, there's lots of
I know
people
Mexico's
kill
a
us in
bit
Mexico,
worrying,
probably
isn't
not a
it?
lot of
Yeah,
money.
no, maybe not Mexico. Seychelles?
Yeah, that sounds
I
nice.
quite like the Seychelles. Anyway, it's going to be Suchith swapping ends. So we're going to have left arm spin from both ends. He bowled 2 overs, taken 1 for 5. He's got a very smart beard, not quite as impressive as Knuckles. And here he is, bowling to Reiner from round the wicket. Gives him quite a bit of width and quite a bit of air, and it's beautifully driven by Reiner. A man who's got over 5,000 runs in IPL cricket is not going to miss out on one of those.
2 + 2 is our member.
Yeah, lovely stroke, beautifully placed again. And he looks in good nick. He's certainly got the pace of this pitch, if the likes of Faf haven't.
Yeah, there's another nicely timed shot through the offside. This one in front of square after a couple of boundaries. Just
Around
back
the wicket.
of
He
square.
comes down the wicket and he's trying to hoist this over the infield. It's gone skewing off an outside edge. It's just dropped safe of the man running back from backward point. Is that Prithvi?
That is Prithvi Shaw, the wunderkind.
And he couldn't get there, so they got back for 2, but he used his feet, but still didn't quite get to the pitch. So good bowling this time by Suchith, and very unlucky not to pick up another
We
wicket.
should give him a jingle. You have one, yeah?
Wait, no. oh, now he follows this one way outside the stump, trying to play a little dab cut, but he's beaten by it. Well, that's highly impressive to have a jingle for Suchi.
Yeah, thank you to Morgan for your speedy turnaround on the request that
when
we
did you do that? Just now?
No, I said when the news broke that he was in the squad.
Oh, you mentioned it to him.
Yes.
Onto the back foot he goes. He guides this one through the covers, takes a single.
We look forward to seeing what our jingle has come up with for some of the players we don't have jingled up for the upcoming World Cup.
Oh yes, yes, that's a very good point. There'll be, oh god, how many people won't we have from those teams and those squads? We need to have a little check.
The process has begun.
Ah, good. The process is in order. Very good to know. Now, what is Rayner doing with Rishabh Pant?
Rishabh Pant and Suresh Raina are having some yolks.
Yolks?
Yolks.
What is yolks?
Like jokes, but
oh, that was when he came in, when he was doing his yoga. He was
yoga yolks.
I don't know what to call it really, without sort of suggesting that it was mildly indecent. Anyway, 34 for 1, and Suchi continues, stays round the wicket to the right-handed Duplessis. Can he find some timing, belated timing? No, he flicks that back. It was almost, I thought, a catch. Just a little bit short of Suchi. He'll be quite annoyed that he didn't pick that up cleanly, and he's allowed it to run down to long off, and they've taken a single. 8 runs from the over so far. There's a rather grim and unhappy Shane Watson sits at the back of the dugout, wondering what might have been. 35 for 1 ball remaining in the 7th over. Time for a change it will be, won't it, after this?
Yep, two places. I'm quite happy seeing.
I'm sure you are, Bear. Rayner is waiting to see what field changes they're making.
Yeah, it's 2 men behind square on the offside, one at short the man and backward, one at backward point, one at a sort of wideish mid off, and one at square leg.
He's taking his helmet off. He's forward to this one. He flicks it with that wrist through the vacant mid-wicket area and takes a single. That is the end of the 7th over. CSK have advanced to 36 for 1. Shall we play a tune, or do you want to
well, I was just going to get... See, that's the point where I'll get really annoyed that there isn't a mid-wicket. You're bowling for around the wicket to a left-hander, turning it into the left-hander, and if any other shot isn't on, the turn to the leg side is the easiest shot in the world to play, and if you do, the angle takes it straight to the man at mid wicket, and for me that is a crime not to have a short mid wicket at that point. But there you go. That's my gripe about such things.
Oh god, we've got another rhododendron joke.
That's fine.
Harsh to call it, to say that it's rising to the level of crime, given some of the news that has come through in recent times. Another spinner into the attack, the 3rd spinner that Delhi Capitals have in their ranks. So one of the most experienced men in the history of the IPL, one of the highest wicket takers in the history of the IPL, is into the attack.
In the early 2000s, with Hamajan and Kumble about, a new leg spinner emerged.
Starts over the wicket with a slider into the left-handed Suresh Raina, who clips this up to deepish set mid on for a single.
Rise. 'Cause if there's one thing